everyone. Thank you for joining me for Prodim Stone webinar series. My name is Zach Harris, and I'll be your host. Today, we're going to present the Proline Stone package, measuring a mitered desk, and then use Prodim's factory software to vein match and get production-ready pieces. If you have any questions, feel free to ask at the end of this demonstration. Now we'll get started. First and foremost, we start with measuring the desk using the Proliner. It's equipped with the stone package. This is a turnkey solution for templators and fabricators alike. The second portion will be the CAD and vein match process done using the Prodim factory software. On this screen, you'll see an overview of what the measuring process will look like. So first, we're going to set the Proliner up on the left side of the mitered desk. Measure as much as we can from that position. Then we'll use the leap function in the Proliner to reposition the machine to the other side to get the rest of the desk that we can't get from location one. And then we're going to use the CAD that's built in onboard the Proliner to edit some of the measuring that we did and label some things. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here we'll use a Proliner. It's our portable digital measuring system to record points on the desk. If you're not familiar with the Proliner, it's a contact measuring system, which the operator uses a pin tethered to the machine with a wire and to touch the points on the desk. And then we use a remote to tell the machine when to take the actual points. The Proliner has multiple functionalities. We're going to be utilizing the multiple plane function in this video to show that you can measure multiple 2D planes and it shows them in a 3D space. So as you see, my colleague here measured a couple points on the floor to just show where the ground was, and then we change a layer or change to a new plane to set the plane on the front face of the reception desk here. And we're going to go and measure the perimeter, as you saw that he did there, and now he's measuring the cutout. If you're a Proliner user already, you know you just need 2 points for a straight line, and then we break the line to go to the new line there. And you don't want to measure directly into the corners because the CAD on board the Proliner will take care of filleting the corners for you. Once we got the front face done, now we're going to move to the top face on the desk. By hitting and holding the 3 button on the remote allows you to change a layer or to change to a new plane. And the first step, like you saw in the video, he's going to set a plane on the top face so the Proliner knows where it's measuring to. And then you're just going to measure the perimeter. And you just keep moving along like this until you get every face that you can from that position. So again, setting the plane on this left face, and then measuring the perimeter just by touching points on the face or the other faces of the object to be measured. And then we're going to measure 2 points for the floor. Now we can go back to the machine and sort of rotate the drawing. You can kind of see everything in multiple 2-dimensional planes, and it shows in a 3D space. Now we're going to utilize the leap function that's built into the Proliner. The leap function allows us to reposition the machine while still keeping the accuracy of the file together. So how the leap works is you have 4 points that you put in space. They can't be in a straight line or like a perfect square. They need to be in some sort of asymmetrical shape. You set those points out that you can reach from position 1 as well as position 2. And you measure those 4 points from position 1, you create the leap. Once the leap's created, we're now able to move the Proliner to position 2 so we can get the rest of the measurement that we couldn't reach from position 1. So we'll take the Proliner, move it over to the other side. You see on the screen there, the Proliner has a hit detection or inclination change detection built inside of it. So if you don't want to move the Proliner and somebody accidentally kicked the tripod or something while you're measuring, it can alert you of that as well. Once you get it into position 2, we can connect the leap So we created one leap here. We're connecting to leap 1, and then we're going to go and measure those 4 points again. The order does not matter here, which is very nice. You don't have to remember. And we also utilize 4 points, so that makes it the most accurate repositioning that you can get. And you'll see here, it's going to give you a mismatch result of what the leap accuracy is. And it's usually, as you see, it's 0.76 millimeters, about 20 thousandths of an inch. And that's usually in tolerance with everybody. Once you are happy with the leap, you just hit connect, and then you can continue measuring to the side that you couldn't reach from your position 1. This is a very versatile tool on the Proliner. It allows you to really be unlimited with the measuring. And now we can measure this inclined angled face of the desk here. Again, just setting the plane and then measuring the 4 faces of it. So that's the measuring process. Pretty simple, pretty quick. And we can go and view it on the Proliner, rotating the drawing in 3D to make sure that we got all the lines that we needed. Then if we hit edit here on the screen, this brings us into the onboard CAD software that's on the Proliner itself. This is our CT software. And what we're doing here is just labeling the layers. So when we bring it into the Prodim factory software, it's a little bit more organized. We know which face is which, just allows for quicker processing of the file. And this can be done, this is a really good tool to use, especially when you're measuring multiple planes. Once the files are labeled, we'll go around and delete all of our lines that we set for our plane. So it's unneeded geometry now. The Proliner will identify those. There's a function in the Proliner to make those a dotted line, so you can identify which lines are which. Makes the drawing a little cleaner and less confusing for you. Again, just sort of rotating it, looking at everything, making sure we got everything. As you can see, we have a layer list on the Proliner. Shows you the layers that are involved. And you can actually turn layers on and off, so you can, what we're gonna do right now, so you can actually just single out one layer that you wanna work on to add your fillets and do any CAD that you need to in the field. Right now, we're just filleting all the corners to connect them on this front face. Now we're gonna just isolate the top layer and enclose everything on the top layer. Same thing with the incline piece, and then on the left side. We're going to origin out the drawing. Now you can actually utilize a feature in the Proliner to bring that into a top view. And what that'll do is now you can basically do your offsets and everything, looking at everything from a plan view. And we're gonna just we're gonna utilize the profile tool in the Proliner to label the particular edges here, whatever profile that we want to label them as. So you can have a mitered. We have a 45-degree cut profile here, which is green. So every line that's going to be on that mitered profile will be labeled green. We're going to go ahead and just close everything up on the left side. Again, go back to our profile library. So the library in the Proliner, you can customize this and add all different types of profiles that you need to, or that is custom to your company, especially like if you're doing miters a lot. It helps identify which lines need to get that particular profile. Then we can add some dimensions here, just so you can verify this, you know, on site while you're here, just to make sure everything was done correctly before you leave. Once we get all those dimensions there, we can create what we call production pieces. So these production pieces, or we call them sketches or production pieces, allow us to single out the particular piece or edge to make them, because we measured this with 5 different planes. So we want to make a production or a sketch piece for each 5 of the pieces. And then we can bring it into the sketch or production menu on the actual Proliner itself. This is where you can add some notations. You can add more dimensions here. This then will be exported out of the Proliner as a PDF file. So it makes like a production shop ticket for you. See, we're adding the dimensions to each piece. Again, this is a really cool tool if you want to add any notations that need to go from the template or to the shop. And then over here, we actually can label, or you can customize this too. So this is like just some information that you can add. You can make this custom template to your company and just add stuff that needs to be added for the job, like who measured it, the date that was measured, the type of job that it is, delivery date, things like that, residential, commercial job. You can also put some different remarks in here. Maybe a customer asks for something. We'll sign off on the job, or you can have the customer sign off on the job right there in the field on the Proliner. And then we can actually now, this is just making the PDF, the shop ticket, nice and pretty. So everything looks put together when we bring it to the shop. As you can see here, we'll have a preview of it. And once we're done, we can export the files off the Proliner using Bluetooth to a smartphone. So we're scanning for the phone here, and the files will come directly off the Proliner, Bluetooth to the phone. Using the Proliner file transfer app, it's on the Google Play Store. You see the files just came over. You can also add pictures that will be tied into the same project folder. And then you can export these right from the field from your phone and transfer them via email and send them right back to the shop so they can start getting processed. As you see here, we now back in the shop or the office, we bring it into the Prodim factory software, and we can start the next step of the process, the vein matching and the layout. So the second portion is done with the Prodim factory software. Here we can finish all the CAD editing that needs to be done that you didn't do in the field. Most of it can be done in the field, but if anything else needs to be done, it can be done here in the Prodim factory. And then this is where we can basically add all of our offset and thicknesses and bring it into the match portion of the Prodim factory software, where we can place it on a digital slab and create an actual saw layout that is, CNC ready. And this is a little overview of what we're about to see in the Prodim factory software. Like I said, we can add the offset and the thickness of the actual material. We're going to align all the parts. We assign the miter profiles to the particular pieces. Again, create some production pieces. we'll match them on the digital slab that we have in our digital slab library. It creates a saw layout that is ready to be exported out for production ready files. Get the video going here for you guys. All right, here we open it, and this is the Prodim factory software. So this is the project home where we import all the files into the factory software. It's like your file organization, sort of just like the same on the Proliner. And when we bring it into the Draw Advanced feature on the Proliner, so this is where we can actually view each piece individually, as well as in a full 3D, 2D, 3D view. And what we're doing now is we're just adding the material thickness along with an offset. And you see the profiles that we added in the field have already carried over into the Prodim factory software, so that saves you a little time. And now, since we added the offset there, this is basically just now growing the piece with the thickness already to adjust so we can actually get the miter correct from the left face to the front and the top face. You just reassign the profiles, and now you see we have a nice clean left piece that's extruded for the material thickness, and it will fit together with the other pieces. So we're going to do that for each side. So we're just basically in the software, you can intersect one plane to another, and then we just go around and trim the new lines together to grow the piece to match to the other pieces because of the thickness of the material. Again, as you can see, the profiles came in, but you can also add profiles in the Prodim factory software. The library feature in the Prodim factory software is how you can build your own custom library to add to the Proliner, as well as add it to the Prodim factory software. So both your libraries can be work in unison with each other. Now we're going to work on the top plane. As you can see here, when we labeled everything on the Proliner, you can see they came in here front, top, incline, and left, nice and labeled from the Proliner already. So again, save you some time by just doing a little bit of editing in the field. We're going to assign our 45-degree miters. And on the right side is that incline piece. So that piece is going to be a different miter. So we can actually come in here and check the angle between the two pieces. It tells us it's about a 70-degree angle. So now we know we can do a different miter on that piece, and we can actually add a text box here. So when we create the production pieces and they go out to the shop knows that this needs to be cut at a different angle because of the inclination of that piece. Makes it very nice and easy just to label it. It really eliminates mistakes. And now we're going to grow the incline piece to match the other pieces. And now we have the whole desk with the thickness of the material added to it, as well as grown so every piece is matched up with each other. And now we can create production pieces. So we bring these production pieces over into the match process of this where we actually match these pieces to the slab. So we want to make these all singular pieces so we can move them around separately to get the best match possible according to the vein or the material. You can come in here and label each piece. We're just simply labeling them. And then now we can come and in this part of the software, we're also creating, this is the PDF portion. So it creates a nice like shop ticket again, just like you can do on the Proliner, but it also brings this, when you bring this into the match, everything will come aligned like this. So this will be like your 2D top view. So when you view, you can move the pieces separately, but when you view it in the software, you'll see each piece where it's supposed to lie, like if it was planed out. Again, we can throw some dimensions in here to verify everything. And add some notations. Eliminate mistakes by just adding as much information as possible. Now we're going to publish this. We want to create just a DXF of the overview here, and as well as a PDF here. And this is a PDF that you see. The PDF, the shop ticket that is created, is really nice. It gives you like a little legend on the side so you see which profiles are used. Now we're going to bring this drawing into the match portion of the software. So here you can choose a digital slab from your digital slab library that you've created using the slab creator portion of the Prodim factory software. And we can basically take our pieces that we measured, each different face of that desk, and we can move them around on the slab. As you see, you can move them in unison on the one screen. They also move in real time on the other screen, so you can match both ways. Now with these profiles, you can actually add a cutting operation to these particular profiles, which is you actually give like the thickness of the tool being used to cut the material, and it will give you an accurate basically layout of what will happen. As you see, there's an overcut there that would go into that other piece. That wouldn't allow us to bring the top and the front face close to the left and right faces. And you can also use the alignment tool in the match software to align these pieces so the saw cuts each line on the material. Basically it uses it as one cut, so to save cutting time. Then we can view it in 3D. This is nice to show customers, or even just in the office to make sure everything looks great in 3D. And once everything is put together and we're happy with the layout, we create an actual a DXF of the saw layout to bring to a CNC machine. And you can, just like in the draw software, you can add dimensions here. So we verify when you put it on the saw table that everything is going to be lined up correctly. Then we can save this nested file and export this as a DXF as well as a PDF to go along with the job. So now you have a PDF, what the pieces will look like and what the saw layout. Again, you see the profiles on the right side. And this could be for the customer to see, to approve. Once we're done with that, we want to save everything because we're happy with it. And you see here all the pictures that were taken on the Proliner file transfer app have also transferred over. And that was the whole finished process. Once you get those files exported out, they're ready to go to the CNC. I want to just thank everybody again for joining us today. This was a cool cool little webinar that we're planning on doing hopefully monthly with some different types of measuring situations. So please feel free to check out the next one that's coming. I do have some time to answer some questions. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to open the question box here. Feel free to type any questions now. If there is no questions, if everybody kind of got everything, or if you want some more information, please feel free to give us a call here at the office, 772-465-4000, or you can send us an email at info@prodimusa.com. We'll be glad to show you everything. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Please look out for the next one. Thank you.